god, the beers aren't stacking. Boy, they really made this inventory a pain in the rear. They didn't even do it. Oh, man. Okay, well, alright. I guess we just have to keep in mind that there's a beer in here. You know, I don't remember if I actually explained this either, but the alcohol, if you look at the descriptions, which I haven't been pulling up the descriptions for all the different stuff, but, you know, some of them are kind of amusing. Oh, really? Oh, there we go. But they will increase. I'll go ahead and pull them up now just so everybody can see them. Oops. Okay, so like the beer here, for example. Oops. Whoopsie. So if we examine it, it's a Hot Devil Ale. So you gain an additional 5 health points up to a maximum of 200. So you know you have 100 health, you can basically double it. But the thing is, it's a temporary boost, and as you get hit, of course, it'll go back down to 100. Your regenerating health, that frankly a lot of people have complained about the idea of regenerating health, but the regenerating health is only up to your normal 100. The additional 100 that you can gain from things like the beer or the painkillers too, they do the same thing. It's temporary. So the other thing about it too is if you do use them, they do a blurred vision effect, and so as you get more and more drunk, they do worse and worse of a blurred vision effect. Or some alcohol, like the where is it? Yeah, the whiskey here, for example. If we examine it, see it gains you a 25 additional, so it's like 5 times as strong as the beer, but the blurred vision is also five times as strong. So, you know, it's not something you normally would do. Like I said, like the painkillers here, same thing. See, so it's 25. I don't. Let's see. Yeah, so they stack. Yeah, they're temporary. So this one, the difference with the painkillers is that they don't have an adverse effect. Obviously, I haven't used these very much, so. Let's pick up a pocket secretary here. So here we go from Pritchard. Yay, our favorite guy. Didn't know if you were coming back, so I deleted your entire network account. I only received the order to set up a new one a few minutes ago. So if you don't like the password I picked, live with it. So password's Mandrake. Should also work on our home computer, wherever that is, at our apartment in town somewhere, I guess. Of course, I could hack my own system. But again, I'm trying to sort of roleplay how he would realistically behave as a, you know, pretty much a law-abiding person. Which is going to get kind of tricky, like, with respect to information, like bribing people or anything like that. Oh, we got an email from Mr. Greg Thorpe. Words aren't enough. Mr. Jensen, I meant what I said at the plant today. You saved my life, in more ways than one. When those gunmen took my Josie away, I thought, well, you probably know what I thought. Please let me repay you. Josie and I are back home safe in our apartment. We live in a third-floor condo on Brooklyn Court. You can find the entrance behind the 2nd Street gas station. Stop by next time you're in the city, and I'll have something for you. Sincerely, Greg Thorpe. So here's an email from Athena. Forward minor security concern. Well, let's go down here and look again, okay? She had originally emailed me, oh, welcome back. And by the way, you know, I gotta explain this. This email was already in here, if when you first get into the lobby before the first mission, you could actually come up to your office and check all this out, but it takes time. And as a warning, if you take very long getting out to the helipad to take off for the first mission, well, bad things happen. I'll just say that, you know. So you don't want to do that, probably. But anyway, originally she emailed me welcoming me back, and let's see here. She asked me to check into something about someone stealing neuroplasticity. She noticed it 3 months ago. Let's see. We seem to be reordering cases from VersaLife far more often than usual. I had Frank run through the lab security tapes, and that's when he realized someone had tampered with them. Usually on nights when Will Rossellini was in charge. Frank wanted to search Will's office immediately and even gave me the access code, 3716. But I told him to wait. Last thing we need is to start falsely accusing people. When you get a chance, can you speak to Will? He's working in Office 23. Now that was the original message. That's the message you would have gotten if you checked in here before you went on the first mission. Now she's forwarded with an additional message saying, Adam, I really don't mean to bug you on this, but I think I've got another suspect in those neuroplasticity thefts. I caught Denzel Mitchell going over my stack of VersaLife purchase orders. He said he needed to verify the legal address for a contract David wanted him to look over, but he'd have that address on a dozen correspondences already. For a lawyer, you think he'd be able to come up with a better defense. Meaning that all lawyers are liars anyway, right? I don't know about that coming from the executive secretary, but his door code is 1364, by the way. It's kind of interesting, I guess, to me that the security in this place is so awful. You know, people can easily send out these emails unsecured. You know, here we have, you know, 3 cameras that we have access to. I guess I could deactivate them, but it doesn't really matter. At this point, at least. Okay. Yes, I can't pick that up. Now this is interesting too. So, whoopsie. See, in our inventory, see, so this is another advantage too. The painkillers stack, but the alcohol doesn't. That's probably why I thought that the alcohol did stack. Oh well. So we just have to remember that here we do have a wine and a beer sitting out there on that one planter. Now, as far as the offices, Will Rossellini was the first one. I mean, I'm going to check this out because we're here and I have time. I'm going to take the time anyway. You could skip it, of course, if you wanted to, but I don't really want to. Another thing. Yeah. So this is... yeah, they're both active. Huh, interesting. There's Denzel Mitchell's, but I want to check out Rules only first. Where'd my stairs go? I did walk right past them, no doubt. I really don't like the layout to this building. It's very confusing to me. Just to me. Other people probably don't have a problem. There we go. So we can enter his code, 3716. Get some more money. A new ebook. The next 3 decades. Where will we be in 2050? There was once a time when we believed that the world would become a monolithic nation-state, a kind of United States of Earth, brought together under the global aegis of a supergovernmental body. But now that prediction seems quaint and hackneyed. The reality is that we live in an era where sovereign nations and the formal governments of countries are little more than lines of demarcation upon the world's maps. More and more citizens of the world lend their loyalties not to a flag, but to the only true transnational entities that still thrive: corporations. We thus foresee a time when people will be citizens of their employer's nation, rather than Chinese, French, Canadian, etc. In this world, what we have thought of as traditional nation complexes, such as America, will fragment in order to find their own equilibrium. And if you think about it, again, this is actually an area of academic studies. Actually, this is an area related to some of the discussions that I had in some of my courses during my graduate work in women and gender studies, because it's true. So here's Rossellini's computer. Let's see here. Well, this is from Pritchard to him. So don't get me wrong. Let's see. The original message is that Pritchard sent an email, even though he really wasn't supposed to, I guess, saying, to Will, saying, "It has come to my attention that neuroplasticity has been disappearing from the lab, usually on nights when you were working late. Care to explain this?" Which is pretty blunt. But then that's typical Pritchard, I guess. We can kind of tell his personality. And Will replied to him, "What exactly are you accusing me of, Frank? Yes, I have taken quantities of neuroplasticity out of the lab. It's part of my research. But I have also logged each and every drop used, and placed all unused supplies back in the freezer before leaving. And I was not the only one working late those nights. Talk to Brugger. He'll verify it." And the most recent reply, to that from Pritchard was, "Don't get me wrong, I'm not accusing anyone. As Serif's security chief, it's my responsibility to stay on top of things." And here's a message from Ted Brugger, who Will just mentioned. Research results. "Whatever Megan's team was onto with that patient X strand is simply amazing. I ran the tests 3 times just to be sure, and none of the usual rejection markers are present, after 8 weeks without neuroplasticity. This is unheard of, Will. Listen, I gotta take off, but you have got to see the results for yourself. Come to my office, room 32. If by chance the door is locked, 9642 will get you in." So now we have another code, of course. From another message from Athene to, looks like everybody in Serif Industries. "Hello all." Oh, this is recruitment efforts. "Hello all. Management realizes that you have been all working long hours in the drive to fulfill outstanding contracts. We recognize your increased efforts and we thank you for your unswerving dedication to getting the job done with pride. We are attempting to fill recent vacancies as quickly as possible, but finding talented researchers who can live up to the high standards this company maintains is no easy task. If you know of any qualified candidates, please send them my way. In the meantime, thank you for your patience and continued dedication during this difficult time." And this is from David to everyone in the company. Update. "Good morning, everyone. I know most of you are still reeling from what happened here several months ago. The devastating loss of so many good people, of so many of our friends and colleagues, is something which I personally find impossible to grasp. I know we will never be able to replace them, but I swear to you this: